Okay then, good evening everyone. So yesterday we have discussed simple random sampling with replacement. Now today we will see that what is without replacement sampling and what is the difference among them. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically if we see the drawback of simple random sampling with replacement, that units which are there in the population, so we are drawing the unit and we are replacing back to the population. So this repetition of the unit, or we can say that repeating units that are included in the sample will not give any extra information. So repeated units will not give these repeated units will not give any extra information regarding the population, because we have to estimate the population on the basis of the sample. So what that repeated unit will not give any extra information for the estimation of the parameter. So this is the main drawback of simple random sampling with replacement. So to overcome this, the concept of SRSWOR was there. So in this SRSWOR is the method of drawing n units from the population of size n, and population such that every unit at each draw will have the same probability of selection, and draws are made by without replacement. Okay, and same rules was the that first rule is each and every unit of the population has the same and equal and independent chance of being selected in the sample, and second one is the draws are made without replacement. Okay, so under SRSWOR, the sample space will contain how many samples, that is NCN. Okay, this sample space, NCN possible samples will be there. So if I see that if there is n if there are n distinct and identifiable units in the population. So at first draw, suppose these are my n units. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 10 units at number are written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 likewise. So suppose in first draw a unit, that third number ball is selected. Okay, so its probability is 1 upon 10, isn't it? So at first draw, so first unit is selected, we can say that first unit is selected with probability 1 by n. Okay, now as we are not replacing back to the population, we are not replacing it back to the population. So see, now in second when we will select the second unit, we will remain with 9 population units. Okay, so the number will be 1 2 4 3 selected, 1 2 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, isn't it? So there are 10 population units. Now here 10 minus 1, that is I can write n minus 1. So second unit is selected with probability 1 by n minus 1. Actually, it is one. I told you that each and every unit of the population is having same chance or equal probability. See here, if I replace this n, for example, if I replace capital N, suppose this new capital N I am writing as like U, for example. Now my U is 9, population size U is 9. So the probability here 1 upon U for all the 9 units. Okay, don't get confused that I told you that there will be probability of 1 by n at each draw. So this is 1 by n for the population size n is equal to 10. This is actually now the second at second draw, whenever the second unit selected, we only 9 population units are there. That's why I'm writing second unit is selected with the probability 1 upon n minus 1 and so on. So in general, if I write that at rth unit will be selected with the probability 1 upon n minus r plus 1. See, if I am making third row, r is equal to 3. So this will be 1 upon n minus 3 plus 1. That is 1 upon n minus 2. Okay. So see here down the third row we will remain, suppose at second row that this second unit is selected. Now we will remain with 8 population unit, 1 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So how many population units are there? Only 8. So n is equal to 8 here, and if I n double prime n prime, so this is what n minus 2. So unit will get selected with the probability n minus 2 in third row. Okay, got it? Now if I talk about the selection probability, the selection probability of a unit at any given draw in case of SRSWOR, that will be 1 upon n. Don't get confused in this statement and previous statement. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear? Is there any doubt?
सर n-1 होगा ना सर?
Why?
सर
See this statement, the selection probability of a unit at any given draw. If I ask that at third draw, what will be the probability of getting selection of the unit? That is 1 by n. Second draw, that is 1 by n. Third, like fourth draw, rth draw, this will be 1 by n only. This selection probability is same in both simple random sampling with replacement and without replacement. That is 1 upon n. But if I am taking individually, that second unit is selected with the probability 1 upon n minus 1. That's why I'm telling don't get confused. See, if I make this proof, so if I write here pi at rth draw is equal to pi at first draw, that is 1 by n. In the first selection, at any unit ui with the selection probability 1 by first draw is okay. First draw, at first draw it will be probability of selection will be 1 by n. Okay, now this is what probability of ith unit at first draw. Now if I consider pi2, So ith unit at second row, the selection of probability of ith unit at second row. So it means that is the probability ui, that is the population unit, is not selected at first draw into the probability at ui is selected at the second row, given that see, this is the conditional probability, it is not selected at first row. So by this method we will calculate this pi2. So this is probability that ui is not selected at first row. If I write puj1 and pui2, that is the second row, at pj1, that is unit not selected at first row. Okay, so this, if I write now, this will be summation j is not equal to I is equal to 1 to n and 1 upon n, and this will be at second row, this will be 1 upon n minus 1. This is for first row and this is for second row, which I have discussed here. 1 upon n, 1 upon n minus 1. So this will be 1 upon n into 1 upon n minus 1, and summation j is not equal to I is equal to 1 to n 1. So this will be n minus 1. So this will cancel out and we will remain with 1 upon n. Okay, so this is pi2. Likewise, if I calculate pi3, so I will get 1 upon n into 1 upon n minus 1 into 1 upon n minus 2, and here over some over here I will get n minus 1 n minus 2. This will cancel out and I will get 1 upon n. Likewise, PIR, for rth draw I will get 1 upon n. So this is the method to calculate this selection probability at any draw. So this will be 1 upon n in case of without replacement. Okay, got it? Now, as I told you that total sample space is NCN, and the probability of selecting a sample of size n, the probability of selecting a sample size n under SRS WOR is given by 1 upon NCN. If we calculate the total all samples probability, that is PS. Okay, this is 1 upon NCN. In case of SRSWR, it was 1 upon n to the power n, because n to the power n was the sample space in case of SRSWR. Okay, now same first order inclusion probability. In case of SRSWOR is 1 n upon capital N. That is pi I is equal to n upon capital N. Its other name is n upon n, is also known as sampling fraction. So they can ask in the example that what the ratio of sample size and population size is known as, that is sampling fraction. Okay, so the option can be like sampling fraction, sampling proportion. Likewise, it can be there. So this is small n by capital N is what? sampling fraction. Okay, remember this, small n by capital N is sampling fraction, and it is represented by small f. So this small f n upon n is known as sampling fraction, and this is first order inclusion probability in case of SRS WOR. Similarly, there is second order inclusion probability. That is pi ij is equal to n into n minus 1 upon capital N into capital N minus 1. So this is second order inclusion probability. Now same as if we see the theorems in case of theorem 1, just like in case of SRSWR, we have seen that sample mean is unbiased estimator of population mean. So is equal to capital Y bar. This is not means so important. And theorem 2 is the sampling variance of the sample mean. Sampling variance of the sampling mean in case of SRS WOR, it is given by variance of Y bar WOR is equal to 1 upon n minus 1 upon capital N S square. Okay. Other form is, I will write 2 or 3 forms. Second form is n minus n upon capital N into small n S square. Third form is n minus n upon n minus 1 sigma square by n. So what was the variance of Y bar in case of WR? It is sigma square by n. So we can compare with this form. So this is variance of Y bar under SRS WO. Okay. So proof I will not do. So you just remember this formulas. So there is lengthy proof, that's why I'll skip this. And one important thing is that in case of SRS WR, covariance of Yi Yj was 0 because draws are independent, because we are replacing units again and again after each draw. But in case of SRSWOR, the covariance between the units Yi and Yj is not 0. It is minus sigma square by n minus 1. So remember this covariance also. So they can ask that uh, means the covariance between two units yi and yj, that is positive or negative. Likewise they can ask, or they can ask directly this. Okay, sigma minus sigma square by n minus 1. This is the form of covariance in case of SRSWOR. So I told you this different forms of this variance of y bar is in case of SRSWOR. See this, we can replace it with like WOR is equal to n minus n upon capital N into S square by small n. So this n minus n upon n is known as, anyone? What is this? N minus n upon capital N.
Finite population.
Finite population correction.
Yes, finite population correction factor. Actually, this is important. This FPC, if I write in short form, FPC is important for during the survey if our population size is too large, see, n minus small n upon capital N. Suppose capital population size is too large, 10,000 minus, and my sample size is like 60 or 50, if I write, and upon 10,000. So FPC is denoted to just to, if we ignore FPC. See, if I divide, the means if I subtract it 50, that there will be no, means very minute difference will be there. Okay. So FPC is this quantity is denoted FPC to just making the calculation easy. We will just ignore this FPC and we will find this S square by N to find the variance under SRS WOR. That's why this FPC term is built. Now, if I write this variance of y bar in case of w bar in the form of that sampling fraction, so this will be 1 upon n minus 1 upon capital N S square. So if I see, if I take 1 upon n outside, so this will be 1 upon n S square. So this will be 1 upon n into 1 minus f S square. So I can write it 1 minus f S square by n. So these are different forms of the formula. So if you know that basic things, that what is f, what is finite population correction, you can change into any form. Okay, got it? Now similarly, we have seen that for theorem 3, we have seen that in case of SRSWR also, that expected value of small s square is capital S square. That is the unbiased estimator of the sampling variance. Okay. Now theorem 4. The probability that, if I write the statement, the probability that the kth unit kth population unit, if I write that is UK, is selected at ith draw and lth population unit is selected at jth draw, and I is less than j. It means ith draw is made first, and k is equal to L is equal to 1 to n. So what is this? So if we calculate the probability of selecting two units together, this is the only thing, that if population unit are like 1, 2, 3, likewise kth unit, likewise lth unit, and u. Okay, here I write ith unit. So these two units are getting selected. If we want to find the probability of getting selected two units together, in this is in ith draw, or suppose this is in jth draw. So if I remove this to avoid confusion, so 1, 2, 3 kth unit, lth unit, and u population size. So this is ith draw and jth draw. Now this probability in case of SRS WR and in case of SRS WOR, कोई बता सकता है what is this, what it can be? It will be in SRS WR, it will be 1 upon n square. Here is, or this will be 1 upon n into n minus 1. Okay, so remember this also. If we are using this two, suppose these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 population units are there, and suppose this fourth unit is selected at second draw, and this sixth unit is selected at third draw. If I want to calculate the probability of this together, so this will be, in case of SRSWR, is 1 upon n square, and this is 1 upon n into n minus 1. Okay, proof I am not doing. Now we will compare the variance of two of this simple random sampling and with replacement and without replacement. Comparison between SRSWR and SRSWO. So for comparison, we can find the difference between variances. So variance of y bar with replacement minus variance of y bar without replacement. So this is, what is this, the variance of with replacement? Sigma square by n minus n minus n upon n minus 1 sigma square by n. So if I take sigma square by n outside, so this will be 1 minus n upon n minus 1. Okay, so if I simplify this, so n minus 1, n minus 1 minus n plus n, this will be cancelled out. Sigma square by n into n minus 1 upon n minus 1. See, this will be greater than 0 if n is greater than 1. If n is greater than 1, then this will be greater than 0. So this is, we can say that, now we can say that variance of y bar SRSWR is greater than variance of y bar SRSWOR. Okay, so which one will be more efficient?
WOR.
WOR, because the uh, which is having the less variance will be more efficient, and we have seen that this is having repeated units, so this will not provide any extra information, so this is less efficient than without replacement sampling. Okay, so if I see that, suppose for example, n is n is 10, 5, small n is 2. Okay, and this sigma square is 5, for example, just for example. So this 5 upon n is 2, small n minus 1 is 1, and 5 minus 1 is 4. So see here, this will be greater than 0. This will be 5 upon 8, and this will be 0.6 something. Okay, so this is greater than 0. So we can say the variance of SRSWR is greater than variance of WO. Now there is, I think Tanush sir have told you in inference that how to calculate the confidence intervals. Yes or no? Confidence interval of the population mean. So various means, if we go for that, the condition under which the distribution of sample mean in SRS, the simple random sampling, will tend to normal distribution. So if the sample size is not too small, we can say that appropriate sample size is there. So if the distribution of population from which the sample is drawn is not very different from the normal, so approximately normally distributed, for that we calculate the confidence interval. So this is y bar minus alpha value. If I write like tau alpha by 2 standard deviation is greater than y bar is less than y bar plus tau alpha by 2 standard deviation, and this is 1 minus alpha. So by this we can calculate the confidence interval of the population mean. So if I write y bar minus tau alpha by 2, and this is standard deviation in case of SRS WRH, n minus n point capital S less than y bar is less than y bar plus the same thing. So in the example, they can ask short questions like calculate the 95% confidence interval. So this 95 confidence interval, we can calculate that like these values will be given, like we can this is a t value. So we can calculate this confidence interval in for the given questions. Okay. Here alpha value will be like 0.05, 0.025, 0.01, and tau alpha by 2 will be at 0.05. It will be, tell me, at 95% level of significance, at 95% level of significance, what will be the value of this? 1.96. Like this will be 2.58. This will be 2.24. So by calculating this, we can calculate this confidence interval. Okay. Now we will move to the one important topic, that is estimation of population proportion, or estimation of population proportion. So basically, suppose this is the population size, and we will have two groups. Each member of one group containing some attribute. So suppose I have drawn it N1 and N2 group, and suppose this is containing some attribute A, having the containing an attribute A. So we are interested to find out the proportion of this. So the proportion of this, suppose this is P proportion N1 upon capital N. Okay, so this is the proportion. And if we suppose I want to take the example like in a rural household survey, there is a rural household survey, and we may be interested in estimating the proportion of household having bank loans for agricultural activities. So that type of example is for estimation of population proportion. So we want to check that how many people has having bank loans for the agricultural activities. So that is that proportion I want to. Suppose there are 1,000 farmers in the one village. So out of that 1,000, only 200 is having bank loans, and remaining 800 is not having. So what is the proportion of this? That is 200 divided by 1,000. So that is 2 by 10 means 0.2 is the proportion that point. We can say this is the proportion that population is having bank loans for the agricultural activities. So in case of this proportion, the variance of this proportion is, if I directly write the formula, variance of this proportion is PQ by N, PQYN, and Q is equal to 1 minus P simply. And P is what? Population proportion, and small p is what? Sample proportion. So this small p is equal to expected value of small p is capital P. That is, we can say that sample proportion is unbiased estimator of population proportion. So I want to find the variance of sample proportion. So this will be is equal to PQY n minus 1. Remember this, PQY n minus 1. Okay, so this is the variance of sample proportion and this is the variance of population proportion. So what will be the coefficient of variation? Tell me, what is the formula of CV? Standard error divided by standard deviation divided by mean. Okay, so this sigma p upon p. So what is sigma p? If we say here PQYN, so this will be under root PQYN into 1 upon P. So if I take P inside, so this will be Q upon NP, isn't it? So this is coefficient of variance in case of population proportion. This will be important to calculate the effective sample size. So this is in case of SRS WR. Now we will see in case of SRS WOR. So here the variance of P will be n minus n upon n minus 1 into PQYN. Just like similar in case of, I have told you normally that variance of Y bar under SRSWR and SRSWR. Now, if we ignore the FPC, finite population correction, so this will be approximately, I can write FPC into PQYN. So, or I can directly write as PQYN. And similarly, sample for this is population proportion, variance of population proportion, and variance of sample proportion will be in case of SRSWR. Small b is equal to similarly n minus n upon n into n q y n minus 1. This will be the variance under SRSWR. N minus n upon capital N into PQY n minus 1. So if I calculate the coefficient of variation here, so this will be under root Q upon NP into n minus n upon n minus 1. Similarly, if we ignore this FPC, so this will be Q upon NP. Okay, from here I have calculated this. Okay, so this is the coefficient of variance. Now we will see. Now question like it can become if P is equal to 0.1. Now calculate to achieve 1% standard error 1% standard error of P, calculate sample size n. So P is given 0.1 and to achieve 1% standard error. Now tell me what is the standard error formula in case of proportion? Standard error of P in case of proportion. That is, anyone?
Under root PQ by N.
Yes, that is under root PQ/N. Okay, under root PQ/N. So I told you that this P is given in the formula. So this is what standard error is 1%. So this will be 1/100 is equal to under root 0.1 into 0.9 divided by n. We have to calculate. So this we have calculate, that is 10,000, that is 0.1 into 0.9 on n. So n will be 900. Okay. So this question came in, I think, like last 2015 or 16 exam, that if P is equal to 0.1, then to achieve 1% standard error of P, sample size should be 900. Okay. So this type of question can come, that they can give the proportion and we have to give, and they will also give the percentage of standard error. Now, one another question is, that certain disease affect at least at least 1.5% of individual. Estimate total number of cases of such disease. Means we have to calculate n, and it is given that coefficient of variance is not more than 30%. It's not more than 30%, and it is also given that we are considering SRS WOR. So this information is given in the question. Now we have to calculate the sample size. So with this coefficient of variation formula, I can calculate this. So at least, what is the meaning of at least? If I write the P is at least, means P is greater than equals to 1.5 upon 100. It means P is greater than equals to 0.015. So this is the P value, and coefficient of variation is n minus n upon small n into capital N Q by P. Now, if I ignore this finite population correction, if I ignore this FPC is what? N minus n upon n. Now, if I ignore this, so we will remain with 1 upon under root n into Q by P. I have ignored this FPC. So, this 1 upon under root n, this will be 1 minus P upon P. And this coefficient of variation is given. So approximately I can write 1 upon under root n into 1 minus 0.015 upon 0.015 is less than equals to 30%, 3 by 10. Okay, it should not be greater than of this. Now, if I take the square both side, I will get 1 minus 0.015 upon 0.015 into 1 upon n. This will be 9 upon 100. So I can calculate this, and from this I can calculate this n simply, and this will be 730. Okay, so this type of question, a small question can come in the examination. So just calculate, like this is important question, this one. To achieve 1% standard error, how much, and the sample proportion, population proportion is given, and we have to calculate the number of sample size to achieve 1% of standard error. Okay, so this is simple one. Now we will move to the determination of the sample size. So sample size should be such that that it will achieve the some desired level of precision of the estimator. So suppose the desired it is desired to find the sample size n such that the estimated value differs from the true value. So estimated value is what? Estimated value is sample mean. It differs from the true value capital Y bar with the by a quantity not exceeding a difference d. So this probability will be equals to our 1 minus alpha, that is level of significance, like 90%, 5% is there, 99% is there. So by this we can calculate our effective determine sample size. So this so suppose I want to use simple random sampling without replacement, so this will be y bar minus capital Y bar less than equal to, and this d that is difference is s upon into n minus n into n t, just like I told you in here confidence interval. Okay, this is the same thing we are doing, y minus y bar, and this is the range t into under root of variance sigma t. So this is standard error and this is t value. So from there we can determine our sample size. Okay, this will equals to 1 minus alpha. So after calculating this, after simplifying this, we will get n is equal to this t s square upon d ts upon d whole square. Okay, and this is n0, and we will get n is equal to n0 upon 1 plus n0 upon n. So here n0 is given by this. Now question, I'll discuss the question. Suppose it is given that n is equal to 5000 and sample estimates lies between 10%. Just a minute. And sample estimates lies between 10% of the true value. True value means capital Y bar if you consider. And it is given that confidence interval is 95%. and coefficient of variation is 60%. Then we have to calculate small n, that is sample size. Now this is y bar minus capital Y bar is less than this 10%. It is given as d value, that difference. The sample estimate lies between 10% of the true value. So I can write 0.1 capital Y bar, okay, and it is 95%, that is 0.95, isn't it? So this is my equation 1. And second equation is y minus Y bar is less than equal to 1.96 t value into standard error n minus n upon small n into capital N s, that is also 0.95. So I can compare both the equation. So after comparing, we can equate these two values. Got it? So I can replace this and I can write 0.1 Y bar is equal to 1.96 s into n minus n upon n into capital N. So simply I can calculate small n from this, because all the values are given here in the exam, in the question, that 0.1. Suppose I have taken the square both side, y bar square is equal to 1.96 square s square n minus n upon small n into capital N. See this quantity, I can replace it at 1 upon n minus 1 upon capital N, isn't it? I can replace with this. Suppose I have taken n upon n into n minus small n upon small n into capital N. So this will be 1 upon n minus 1 upon capital N. So with this we will remain with 0.1 square y bar square upon s square is equal to 1.96 square and 1 upon n minus 1 upon capital N. Okay. See, what is this? If I see like y bar, what is this? Tell me, what is this?
CV.
Huh?
CV.
CV. So I can coefficient of variation, that is 0.1 square upon point, that is 60%. So 0.6, that is 0.36. So this will be 0.01 divided by 0.36. Okay, this will be 1.96 square and 1 upon n minus 1 upon 5000. So we will simplify it and we will calculate n is equal to 1. Okay, got it? Any doubt in this?
सर 0.36 कैसे आया एक बार फिर से
0.36, see here, if I replace this quantity, so this will be 0.1 square upon CV square, isn't it? Coefficient of variation is s upon y bar, so this will come in denominator. So CV is what? 60%. So this will be 0.6 value, 0.6 into 0.6, 0.36.
ओके सर
Okay, now two small questions are like on the base on this sample determination. So there is one Cochrane formula of determining the sample size, that is n is equal to z square pq upon t square. Pq is what? Sample proportions. P is proportion. So in case of proportion, I can calculate the sample size z square pq by e square. N is sample size, z is the standard, means z is confidence interval value like 1.96 likewise. And E is what? E is error, marginal error. Suppose 95% confidence interval is there, so error will be 0.05. Okay, error will be 0.05. 5% error will be there. So this is given, like proportion is given. For example, if we see one question that how many households serve breakfast in the morning? How many households serve breakfast in the morning? Like let's suppose 50% household, it is given in that 50% household serves breakfast in the morning, and at 95% confidence interval we have to calculate the means sample size. So n is what? Z square p into q upon e square. So z square is 1.96 square, p is what? 50% means zero point 0.5 into zero point 0.5 divided by 0.05 into 0.05. This is the error. So we can calculate this easily. 10 and square of 1.96, and we will calculate and we will get the value of n. Like if you calculate this, just let me multiply this. One point nine six into 100. So this will be 3.384 something. Okay, so this we can calculate easily if 50% households serve breakfast in the morning, and this situation, this 95% and all this thing will be given in the question. Just we have to calculate with this formula. There is one another formula, that is Slogin's formula. For determination of sample size, if we have no idea about the population behavior, no idea about the population behavior, that th- how much confidence interval is there, likewise. So the formula is n, that is population size, plus 1 plus capital N into E square. E is simply the error they will give in the example. Like if I see the example, a group of thousand, a group of 1,000 employees are there in particular company. Okay, and it is given that employees are happy with the for that particular firm with the marginal error 0.05. So this is given that employees are happy with the marginal error 0.05. It means 95% out of 100 are happy. Only 5% employees are unhappy. So we can calculate the sample size capital N upon 1 plus n e square. So this we can calculate easy, like 1,000 upon 1 plus 1,000 into this 0.05 into 0.05. So after simplification, we will get the sample size 285. Okay. So is there any doubt in this sample size determination and all? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so just we'll take 2 minutes break and we'll come back. Okay. So with this, we have completed our simple random sampling with replacement and without replacement, and sampling for the proportion and determination of sample size. Now we will move to the next sampling strategy, next sampling method, that is stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Sir,
So
Yes, sir.
so basically, in case of SRSWR, the variance of YVAR was SRSWR. The variance of YVAR is 1 upon, if I write 1 minus f, is simply s square by n. So this is dependent on the variance of SRSWR is dependent on n and s square. So this is indirectly proportional to n and directly proportional to s square. Okay. So since the precision of an estimate is defined the reciprocal of its sampling variance. So apart from increasing of sample size, I want to, if apart from increasing the sample size, the only method to increase the precision of sample means sampling technique is to reduce this. Okay, if I increase this sample size, this variance will decrease. And second method is, if we decrease this s square, that variability among the units, so then on we can increase this efficiency. So we have to find this technique which will effectively reduce this s square, that is heterogeneity. Okay, so one such technique is stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling, which will reduce this heterogeneity among the units. So what is basically stratified sampling is, so in this sampling we will suppose this is population and this is heterogeneous population. And we will make homogeneous strata. Okay, so this we are making homogeneous strata. So like suppose these are 1,000 units are there in the population, and these are heterogeneous. So we will make homogeneous population like 1, 2, 3 among this will be suppose n1, 1, 2, 3, like n2, likewise n3 and k. Okay, so this will be n1, size of the strata is n1, n2, n3, ni, and k. And this total size will be n1 plus n2 plus ni plus nk will be capital N. And after making the strata, we will select the sample from each of the strata. Each of the strata by SRSWR or SRSWR. Simply just usually we will take the SRSWR. So here from here I will take the sample N1, N2, N3, Ni, likewise Nk. So this is the basic setup of stratified random sampling. Okay, so stratification means division into the layers. So we will divide the population into various groups such that units within each groups are homogeneous as much as possible. So here the units will be homogeneous. Homogeneous within. So we can say within homogeneous, within group. And unit between groups will be heterogeneous. Okay, so we unit within group will be homogeneous as much as possible, and units within group or between groups will be heterogeneous. So these are between strata. Okay, now for example, suppose this is the population of, like, there are means human population is there. Now I want to make homogeneous groups. So I will make a group of female. So these are homogeneous. Group of male. These are homogeneous. Group of children's. This is homogeneous. And group of old ladies. Like this is female less than 40 years. This is, or we can say 10 to 40 years. This is male 10 to 40 years. Children, male less than 10 years. Like one group is there, female children less than 10 years. Group of old ladies, that is more than 40 years. Group of old men, old men, that is more than 40 years. So what I did, I make the homogeneous strata. Okay, so this is the stratification, by which in stratified the heterogeneous population of n units is first divided into the homogeneous subpopulation. So this is homogeneous subpopulation n2, n3, n4, n5, like n6 size. So with respectively, and these subpopulation are non-overlapping. मतलब हम we will not overlap. We will not overlap, like we will not classify this female into this group. Okay, so there will be no overlapping. And distinct, there will be subpopulation are non-overlapping and distinct, and together they comprise the whole population. It means n1 plus n2 plus n3 plus ni plus dot 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 nk will be capital N. So this will comprise whole population. Now these subpopulation are known as strata. These subpopulations are known as strata, and individual strata is known as stratum. Single stratum. So to obtain the full benefit, so this is stratification. So to obtain the full benefit of the stratification, the values of this Ni must be known. This Ni must be known to get full benefit of stratification. Now from each and every strata, we will select the sample with simple random sampling, and this is known as stratified random sampling. Okay. So now we will see some notations regarding this stratified random samplings. That if I want to find this is population mean of ith strata. Ith stratum, and this will be yi bar is equal to 1 upon ni summation I j is equal to 1 to n I y I j. So just remember this setup. This is population and this is our strata. 1 to ith strata. So the units in ith strata are ni. Okay, that like 1, 2, likewise 1, 2. So if I want to find this jth unit is there inside the this ith stratum, so this will be yi bar is equal to 1 upon ni, the size of ith stratum and the sum of all the population unit, all the units in the ith stratum. Okay, simple. Now there will be small si square, that is population mean square for ith stratum. So this is si square is equal to 1 upon ni minus 1 summation j is equal to 1 to ni yij minus y bar I whole square. Y bar I whole square. Okay, so this is simple formula. If we remember, we can replace it with in case of stratified random sampling. Now there is one important thing, that is Wi. So Wi is what? Ni upon n. What is this? This is ith stratum weight. Ith stratum weight, or we can say population proportion. Population proportion of ith stratum. And what is Fi? Simply Ni upon capital Ni. So this is sampling fraction. See, so in sampling, the basic is the notations. If you understand the notation, how to define this n, ni, si, what is the range of this, so that will be means then it will be simple to understand that I is ranging from where to where, j is ranging from where to where. So that is important in the sampling, usually the notations. So that if I want to write this population mean, capital Y bar, so usually it will be y bar is equal to 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to n yi, isn't it? Usually if I write simple basic formula, but now we have divided this units into the stratum. So they see here we have this. If I see, this is here the units will be yi and the size is n. So my mean will be 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to n yi. But now I had made the groups. And each one is having size n1, n2, n3, like ni and nk, for example. So and its individual mean is also there, by I bar, y1 bar, y2 bar, y3 bar, y4 bar, likewise yi bar and yk bar. So now this is what, if I multiply this, then I will get ni n1 y1 bar. This is what? Its sum. Okay, this is n1 into y1 bar is it is a sum, because y1 bar is what? 1 upon n1 into summation j is equal to 1 to n1 by ij yj, if I simply write. So this n1 into y1 bar is sum of these units, sum of the units of all the samples, all the units in the first data. So if I take the sum of all the units, that is I is equal to 1 to k statas are there, that is n I y I bar. So this will be my population mean. Now if I take n in this side, so this will be I is equal to 1 to k n I upon n wi yi var. So this is our wi, so this is I is equal to 1 to k wi yi var. So this is population mean in case of stratified random sampling. Okay, don't confuse in small wi and capital Wi. This, there is no difference in wi. That sample wi is there, population wi, that is not. Wi is simple ni upon n. There is no small wi. Okay, so wi yi is summation I is equal to 1 to k wi yi is the population mean. Now the important things to remember in stratified random sampling. First is y bar st, that is sample stratified mean, an unbiased estimator, that is 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k and I yi var. So this is sample mean. So I can write it 1 upon, so sorry, summation I is equal to 1 to k strata are there, wi yi var. So this is y bar s. So this is unbiased estimator of the population. Y bar st, unbiased estimator of the population. Second thing, variance of y bar st is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to k wi square 1 minus fi si square by n ni. So this we have to remember, variance of y bar st summation I is equal to 1 to k wi square 1 minus fi si square by ni, and you know everything. Wi is what? Ni upon n. Fi is what? Ni upon capital Ni. Okay, so from this I can if I break this into the two parts, then it will be 1 2k wi square si square upon ni. See, wi square si square upon ni minus summation I is equal to 1 to k wi square fi si square by n. And what is, if I replace this wi 1 wi into ni upon n into fi is what? Ni upon ni. So this will cancel out and we will remain with summation I is equal to 1 to n 1 to k wi si square upon n. Okay, so this is another form, variance of y bar st is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to k wi square si square upon ni minus 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k wi si square. Okay, third, its estimate, variance of y bar st. Its estimate of variance will be, simply we will replace capital Si square with small si square. I is equal to 1 to k wi square 1 minus fi into si square by ni, nothing else. Okay, so this is three important formulas in case of stratified sample. We have to remember that variance, what is the estimator, what is its variance, and what is the estimate of variance. Now one important thing is allocation of the sample size. What is allocation of sample size? What is allocation of the sample size?
How much our sample size should be from each stratum?
From each stratum. Okay. So there are different, basically there are three type of allocation. Since our variance of y bar st is equals to I is equal to 1 to k wi square si square upon ni minus 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k wi si square. So it depends on ni, the sample size of the ith stratum. So variance of y bar st is depends on ni, or we can say it is like depends on ni, which can be fixed at our means during by the allocation of the sample size for different strata. And this is done in the following three ways. First one is equal proportion. So there are three allocations: equal allocation. Second one is proportional allocation. Third one is optimum allocation. So three allocations are there. So first one is, if we consider equal allocation, so in this allocation, sample of size, equal size is drawn from each stratum. So suppose this is population and this I had made the strata, likewise this, and I will select equal sample from, like, this is n1, n2, n3, n4, ni and nk. But in equal allocation, I will select the same sample size from each of the strata. Okay, so here n1 is equal, means if we consider this n1, n2, n3, n4, ni, nk. So I will write n1 is equal to n2 is equal to n3 is equal to ni is equal to nk is n. So these are equal sample size we will allocate from each of the ith stratum. So I can write for ith stratum, suppose I want to calculate ni. So ni will be our total sample size will, suppose I will write its n prime. Total sample size is what? N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus like Nk is equal to N. Okay. So if I want to calculate Ni, so this will be N upon K from each stratum. See, simply if I, to avoid the confusion, if I write this, equal sample size is Ni N, and this will be equal for all the strata. So this will ni is equal to n upon k, because the sum of all the samples will be n, because we have to ultimately we have to draw the sample capital N, uh, from capital N we have to select the sample size small n. So n small n is sum of the all samples from the k strata. Nk is equal to n. So this is the ni is equal to n upon k is the sample size ith of ith stratum, and where n is what? N is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to k and I. Okay, so this combined sample size for all the strata, and k is the number of strata. K is number of strata. So this method is is what is the advantage of this method? This is for the practical importance, like for administrative and fieldwork convenience. And fieldwork convenience for easy method. So this is important, means to make the means just we have to simply take the equal sample size from each and every student. So this is a simple method, that is equal allocation. Now second one is proportional allocation. Proportional allocation is given by Pauli in 1926. This is given by Pauli in 1926. In this method, the samples are selected of a given size from various strata in proportion to their population size. So this is population, capital N, and this is our strata. So from here, we suppose this is 1, 2, Ni, Nk. So for this Ni, the population is capital N1, isn't it? N1, N2, Ni, Nk. So for this, the population is Ni. So because we are selecting this Ni sample from this strata, so its population size is Ni. So it is in this method, the samples are selected of a given size from the various strata in proportion to their population sizes. So Ni is proportional to capital Ni. Okay, so this is important regarding this proportional allocation. So Ni is equal to, if I replace it with constant value lambda Ni, so lambda is what? Now if I calculate this summation Ni is equal to lambda summation I is equal to 1 to k and I is equal to 1 to k. So this will be total n lambda, and this is total population size. So lambda is what? N upon capital N. It is f, sampling fraction. Okay, so Ni is equal to lambda Ni. So Ni is equal to lambda is what? N upon capital N into Ni. So I can write it N is equal to F capital Ni or small Ni is equal to NW. Okay, so this is the sample size for ith stratum, that is F into Ni or N into Wi. Now if we know the formula of variance of y bar st, that is what? Summation I is equal to 1 to k Wi square 1 minus Fi Si square upon Ni. So if I replace this value Ni into this formula, so for proportional allocation, variance of y bar st under proportional allocation, I will get the formula 1 minus f upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k Wi Si square. So remember this formula, variance of y bar st under proportional allocation, that is 1 minus f upon n summation I is equal to, this is general formula. This is general formula under stratified random sampling. This is under proportional allocation. 1 minus f upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k wi si square. Okay, got it? Now, third one is optimum allocation. Optimum allocation. So for optimum allocation, there are different conditions. So what is the meaning of optimization? If I say, what is the meaning of optimum? So basically in optimization, we will calculate that sub something we have to minimize for getting the optimum sample size. For example, there are two conditions that minimize the variance of, that is variance of y bar st of estimate for condition 1 fixed sample size. So we have to fix the sample size, that is n is fixed, and we have to minimize the variance of phi bar st, and this is known as Niemann's allocation. Second condition is for fixed cost. Fixed cost of what? For making stratification, for cost of stratification. And second is optimum allocation. Second condition is minimize the total cost for fixed desired precision, and precision we usually calculate in terms of variance. So we can say for fixed desired precision or a fixed variance of y bar s. So there are three different conditions in case of optimum allocation. Basically, two conditions are there. So for minimizing the variance, we will have the fixed sample size for fixed cost, and this is fixed cost, minimize the total cost for fixed variance. Okay, so first we will see the Niemann allocation. Before that, we will see the cost function. So basically, what is cost function? So in any sample survey, the value of information on which experimental units must always be balanced against the cost of obtaining it. Suppose I want to get the information from somewhere. So I will try that I will get the maximum information with the minimum cost. Okay. So that we will also apply in case of survey, that we have to get the maximum information with the minimum cost. So this is the cost function in which this Ci is known as, Ci is the stratum to stratum cost, and this C0 is known as overhead cost. Cost of setting up and maintaining an office, like personal, I want to get the means I have to recruit some employee to for the survey, and some capital expenses are there. So this is overhead cost. So this is the cost to make the stratification, Ci, and C is the total cost. This is to survey, and we can say surveyor, office, like which which cost is expended in other things other than the making of stratums. So this is a cost function, and this is given by Mahalanobis. Okay, so this is given by Mahalanobis. Now we have defined our three conditions. First one is variance of y bar st is minimum for fixed n. Second one, variance of y bar st is minimum for fixed cost. And third one is variance of y bar, cost is total cost is minimum for fixed variance of y bar st. Okay, so we will see first condition, that is Niemann allocation. So in this allocation, fixed total size of variance is minimum for fixed total size of the sample. N. So in this condition, in this allocation, Ni is proportional to Nisi. Remember this. And in case of proportional allocation, Ni is proportional to capital Ni here. But in case of Niemann's allocation, Ni is proportional to Nisi. So from here we can calculate our Ni values. So if I just directly, if I replace, just like in case of this lambda Nisi, in case I replace with in case of proportional allocation, so lambda will and this summation Ni is equal to lambda summation Nisi. I is equal to 1 to k. I is equal to 1 to. So lambda will be n upon summation I is equal to 1 to k Nisi. Now I will replace with this Ni. So Ni is equal to n into n upon summation I is equal to 1 to k Nisi into Nisi. Isn't it? So this is Ni in case of Niemann's allocation. Basically, this I am doing directly, but there is a use of mathematics, that is the Lagrange multiplier is there. But shortly I am doing directly like this. Okay, so you remember this Ni is equal to n upon summation Nisi into Nisi. Or I can replace it, suppose I have multiplied this n I is equal to 1 to k Ni upon Nsi. So this will replace with Wi. Same here, Ni upon Nsi. So this is Wi. So I can write it also, Ni is equal to n upon summation I is equal to 1 to k Wisi into Wisi. Now this again we will replace this Ni into the formula of variance of y bar st. So under Niemann allocation, I am directly writing the formula under Niemann allocation. So this will be 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k Wisi whole square minus 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to k Wisi. So this is the variance under Niemann's allocation. Okay. Any doubt? So with this, I am stopping here today, and I will continue tomorrow with this sampling and other allocations in optimum, and after that we will go on cluster sampling and all. Okay, so with this I am stopping here today. Okay then.